This is the legendary fight that changed history. A bout that would forever change the landscape of Muay Thai, kickboxing and MMA in North America. You'll find no other fight that is as dramatic, with both fighters displaying so much heart. If there is one fight that you should show someone who has never watched a fight before, it is this one. The fight that changed history took place during a time period where Muay Thai was still relatively unknown to the West, getting its epic name due to its colossal impact on North American kickboxing and Muay Thai. At the time of this bout, American kickboxing was at the height of its popularity, and it was essentially a mix of traditional karate and Western boxing. Under the American kickboxing rule set, it had no low kicks, clinching, elbows or knees. Coming from a family rich of martial arts roots, Rick Rufus had conquered the American kickboxing world with an undefeated record. Rick was considered by many to be the greatest American kickboxer. At the time of this bout, he was undefeated with a 28-0 record. His opponent for this bout was Chang Puak Giatsongrit, a legendary Thai boxer, one of the first to go abroad to prove the effectiveness of Muay Thai under limiting rules that favoured his opponents. Thai fighters are generally lightweight, but although Chang Puak was originally a lightweight in Thailand, he gained about 30 pounds to fight heavyweights, while being 170 to about 180 pounds himself. He cemented his legendary status when he beat legends such as Rob Carmen 3 times. The modified rule set when he faced Rick Rufus did not permit elbows, prolonged clinching, nor were throws allowed. This was the first time American kickboxing versus Muay Thai would be televised to a large audience. It was one of the first that had allowed low kicks, something that was not legal in American kickboxing. In the first round, Rick's strikes were throwing Giatsongrit off. These types of strikes are now considered an unorthodox striking style, but at the time it was the standard way American kickboxers fought. This bout is the reason why American kickboxing style is considered unorthodox now. This is considered the low kick fight because it showcased all the advantages and disadvantages of stances. Rick incorporates a side-on stance, in which the principle is to make the body target smaller and lead weapons such as the jab and side kick longer. This stance also contributes to more explosive in and out footwork. Rick is a southpaw and mainly an outside and movement based fighter. He likes to blitz and use spin attacks, very similar to Raymond Daniels. But Rick also has high-level boxing. He had many professional bouts and was trained by the great Sugar Ray Leonard. In the first round, Rick landed one of his signature moves, the rear cross on kick retraction. This is mechanically similar to a Superman punch. This punch is extremely powerful when set up properly. And with this, Rick broke Giatsongrit's jaw. Rick's superior boxing skills results in this second knockdown. But what followed was Giatsongrit's survival based on heart and grit. It was the pride of Thailand and its national treasure on the line, and he showed the spirit of never giving up. A common trait among Thai fighters, an art built on perseverance and toughness. So it was no surprise when Ετnεννεμμετμομεκ, even with a broken jaw, wouldn't go down willingly. In between the first and second round, Chang Puek was out on his feet, and his corner used an ice stalling tactic to delay time so that he could recover.
Here, a lot of ice in that corner, and referee Tom Schlesinger has to hold up the count here for just a second while I get that ice out.
Rear low kicks. Where Rick's stance would allow him to move in explosively to land punches, one thing was consistent. Ετnεννεμμετμομεκ exploited Rick's side-on stance and would land many low kicks whenever he threw them. Normally a side-on stance in a southpaw versus orthodox matchup affords more timing to prevent a low kick, but Ετnεννεμμετμομεκ is also a southpaw. This means the powerful rear low kick directly threatens the exposed lateral and posterior knee and leg. In addition to a side-on stance and not having any low kick experience, Rick also likes to pivot and sit down heavier on his punches, which is not a problem in American kickboxing without low kicks, but a big problem in rules that allow a strong low kicker to shine. Some tactics used were fundamental techniques, such as kicking back whenever a low kick is received or whenever the opponent punches. It definitely stung Rick, but it was obvious that the undefeated fighter wouldn't go down without a fight. The key tactical battle of this fight was low kicks versus movement. The beauty of choosing a low kick game plan against a movement based fighter is that it gradually adds up and slows down the fighter by taking away their most valuable asset, explosive footwork. The longer the fight goes, the less dangerous the explosive movement-based fighter is. This is also how Joseph Valtellini defeated Raymond Daniels. As the low kicks accumulate, Rick starts to lose balance and telegraphs his strikes. Here, Ετnεννεμμετμομεκ uses push tactics to set up low kicks. Then he cuts off attempts to move out, resulting in a much slower spin attack by Rick, accompanied by a totally illegal stomp. It is undeniable that both fighters displayed tremendous heart in this fight. Neither fighter wanted to give up. Ετnεννεμμετmomekk takes advantage of dramatic pivoting during a hook, and Rufus versus exploited the dropping of hands during power kicks. Ετnεννεμμετ's long guard is purely for punching defense, distance control, and attacking with kicks in this rule set. He will catch punches on his shoulder and arm, and blast the low kick whenever possible to continually exploit Rick's side-on stance and dramatic pivots. Other times, Ετnεννεμμετ would use a double palm press down on Rick's shoulder to set up a low kick on the exit. And props to Ετnεννεμμετ for this awesome throw. Unfortunately, in this rule set it was considered illegal. This was truly a legendary bout, with Chang Puek chasing down Rufus for the rest of the fight with low kicks until Rufus couldn't stand up anymore. It was clear Rufus did not want to give up, but his body just wouldn't let him stay standing. Chang Puek could have knocked him out at any moment to the body or to the head, but he wanted to make a statement for low kicks and for Muay Thai. After the fight, Rick would train Muay Thai with the opposing corner's trainer. He would go on to adapt a neutral stance for the rest of his career. Duke Roufus, one of the premier MMA coaches today, was in the corner of his brother's fight. It's safe to say this bout went on to change the Roufus brothers' opinion on Muay Thai, which would then have a tremendous ripple effect in North American kickboxing and Muay Thai. Check out the famous anti-low kick speech. 18-year-old Jeff Duke Roufus.
I'm not sure. I just know that he's in pain, and the leg kicks were the only thing that stopped him. The guy did not touch me anywhere else in the body, you know. I think, you know, that Rick should have won the fight. He had the guy out. There are 3 major fouls, but it's the way the cookie crumbles tonight.
Let's take a look at the monitor down here, Jeff, and see if you can show what's talk about these leg kicks.
Right there, you know, he's just buckling his knees. It's the same type of injury that ends a football player's career. You know, I don't think it takes much talent to kick somebody in the legs. As you saw those jumping, spinning kicks that Rick was throwing and all the defensive ability, I think that's real talent, you know. I think that he is better than this fighter, but the rules just didn't allow him to win tonight. Well, I hope that, you know, people realize that ties, if they fight our rules, we're not going to win, and we're not going to fight their rules. We can't. It's just, we experimented tonight, but we found out it's not worth it. It doesn't take too much talent to kick to the legs. So that's how I'll end up tonight.
Once again, we thank you for stopping by, and Dan, we hope that Rick Roufus will be back in the ring very, very soon.
Duke quickly changed his opinions after attending a low kick seminar, and he went on to train in Thailand with great camps such as Jockey Gym and Sityodtong. Duke would then become an incredibly technical fighter and a phenomenal coach, giving birth to UFC champions such as Anthony Pettis and Tyrone Woodley. Duke also went on to become a fantastic low kicker with multiple Muay Thai World Championships. Today, he's a top striking coach with comprehensive knowledge of Muay Thai, kickboxing and MMA. As always, thank you for continuing to watch Striking Breakdowns. We hope you enjoyed this epic story of the fight that changed history. If you want to see more legendary videos, hit that subscribe button as we have much more content being released very soon, as well as a catalogue full of epic fights and breakdowns.